think that he got away with one here. Tyler Lockett awarded a 34-yard catch to get the ball to the Packers 16. Looked like it may have been moving as he hit the ground, but the Packers didn't challenge it, so the drive continued from the spot, and it ended up in the end zone. Russell Wilson's 21st career game-winning drive. Seahawks win 27-24.
You know, a lot of great players on the field and guys making plays and doing some special things. You know, two teams that want to try to do everything we set out to do, and we were able to play. You know, every year is different. You know, but you know, this year we got a great team, and we really believe we can do anything we want to do. We got a long journey. We just stay the course and keep fighting and keep believing. And we believe. If anybody believes, we believe. And so we're going to keep doing that.
Interesting game for Russell Wilson, who didn't start off particularly well, just 12 yards passing in the first quarter. He was actually booed at home before the break, but he certainly made plays for his team down the stretch, and he wasn't the only one. Rod Woodson, Maurice Jones-Drew, those running backs for Seattle, Penny, Carson, Davis, combined for 155 yards on the ground. How big was that balance for them in this one?
Well, you know, the first couple of weeks for the Seahawks, week 1 and 2, they were trying to lean on Russell Wilson, trying to get him to throw the ball. And, you know, that worked last year and the year before, but they really didn't go to the playoffs. So they had these 3 backs. They decided after week 3, let's start running the ball a little bit and get going. And they've been rushing like crazy. I remember calling the game in Seattle against the Rams where they rushed for almost 190 yards. And so when you can lean on your running game, you can get your offensive line to go forward. You can protect Russell Wilson, limit his throws, limit his ability to get hits, help your offensive line out, and the play-action pass comes in huge, and we saw that in this game. That's how they've been getting their chunk plays. Play-action pass to Tyler Lockett down the field, and then also letting these running backs go forward. You got 3 of them.
Rod, you picked the Packers to win this game.
Uh-oh.
What happened that you weren't expecting?
Well, allowing the run, first of all. I mean, I didn't think they were going to gash him that bad, but, you know, really thinking, like, when you look at Aaron Rodgers, he played tremendous first half. Didn't play that well in the second half. The team didn't play that well in the second half. But that third down play that he had, that 3rd and 2 play, where he threw the ball in the dirt, that's not like Aaron Rodgers. It's not Aaron Rodgers-esque, where he throws the ball in the dirt. And I know he said the ball stuck in his hands, whatever that meant. But I don't really have a problem with Aaron Rodgers, but I do have a problem with Mike McCarthy not going for it on 4th down. Because what he told the whole world is that, you know what, I trust my defense more than I trust Aaron Rodgers. I don't know if that's the case. You should, anytime Aaron Rodgers 4th and 2, you got 1 timeout, 3 minutes something left on the clock. They haven't stopped in the whole second half. You let Aaron Rodgers at least try to make a play.
How many games this year has he not gotten the ball back when it seemed like there was going to be plenty of time for him to do that?
Quite a bit. Head scratchers.
Right? Packers are technically still in the playoff mix. They're the 8th seed right now in the NFC, but they are 3rd in the NFC North. I said technically. They are 2 games back of the Bears in that division. Is there still hope? It doesn't sound like he thinks, though. Let's see what Aaron Rodgers thinks.
Is there any hope left for this season?
Come on, Rod. What kind of question is that?
I don't know. I mean, it doesn't.
Come on, man.
Can't win on the road. What are you going to be able to do?
I don't even know how to answer that, Rob. I mean, come on, what am I supposed to say? Of course there's hope. Of course we believe in each other. You know, we're just going to take one galvanizing moment. So whether that's a speech or practice or something happens in the game, something's got to get this thing going. I mean, nobody gave up hope. You know, we just didn't play well enough when we had to play well enough.
One galvanizing moment. I think that's the song they play at the end of the NCAA tournament. No? Okay.
No,
They've got 6 games left to find that moment that he's looking for. And might not have Jimmy Graham. He broke his thumb last night. Found out this morning. Is it time to get out a fork? What do we think?
You know what? Let me take this walk. Let me take this walk and help them out a little bit.
Oh, you're going to, okay.
Can I go help them out? Is that cool?
See what you got for them.
All right, let me make sure I got all my stuff with me as I go. Rod, hold on, Puma. I'm going to get that in a second. James, are you watching? Is James Jones watching? Do we all know this? Is James watching?
Don't rub it in
James
like
anywhere?
that. That's not
all
cool.
All right, here we go. It's all right. Listen, the Packers on the road, over. So they're going to continue that here, going to Minnesota. It's a tough thing going into that dome, the loud noise, all that kind of stuff. I have them getting the victory versus the Cardinals. I have them beating the Falcons. The Falcons don't play well outside. It's cold, Cole. You know that. Cold world. You know how it is. Chicago. They're playing well right now, so that's an L. They get their first road win against the Jets, then they win here. And that's not going to get it done. So, JJ, Thanksgiving is coming early. It's time to stick a fork in him, my friend.
Why you got to make that all personal? Like, James is out there,
That's
you know.
my dog. I mean, James knows what time it is. Did you like that?
I like
All
the
right,
fork.
cool.
I like the fork. That's a big
I
fork.
love Aaron Rodgers,
Where do you
though.
find a fork
do
like
you
that?
eat with that fork?
I can. You know, it just depends
cereal?
on how big the turkey is. No, cereal, it would be, you know, I only do cereal with water. I'm lactose intolerant. But James came on this set, was it a couple weeks ago, talking big trash. I love Aaron Rodgers. I just think right now they're not playing well as a team.
They are not.
And we want to be confident and believe in Aaron Rodgers, but you need all 22 to do those. Actually, all 33 special teams as well.
I can believe in Aaron Rodgers and not as much the people around him.
I'm about to roll off. There we go.
For perspective, for that 8-7-1 record, the Bears could get to 7 wins this week if they beat the Vikings. That is the primetime game on Sunday.
Stick a fork in them.
We're on that game coming.
They're done.
Gobble, gobble.
Yeah, James said he was going to see the Packers win 7 of their last 8. MJD thinking otherwise. Time to give that NFC playoff picture an ocular pat down. And despite the head-to-head win, the Saints one less win than the Rams, hence that number 2 ranking. But in their last 8 games, New Orleans winners by a combined total of 106 points. That's big. Time now to check in with James Palmer with the latest on the Saints ahead of Sunday.
Saints wide receiver Michael Thomas has now put himself among the ranks of the best wide receivers in football, leading the NFL with 78 catches on just 87 targets. He's catching 90% of the balls Drew Brees throws to him. And Thomas and Brees talked about it this week, saying that it goes back to when they trained together in San Diego, and it's almost second nature, Thomas said, when Sunday rolls around. Brees said that he's one of the more competitive players he's been around. When he gets in the zone, he gets almost uncoverable. With the Eagles, look for Sidney Jones, who's coming off a hamstring injury, missed the last 3 games, to finally play on the outside and potentially line up against Michael Thomas and show the Eagles that he could be that guy, that star that they believe could be emerging at the quarterback spot with Jalen Mills and Ronald Darby out for this game.
James Palmer, thank you. True professional. And Eagles rush defense versus that Saints rush offense. The Saints, they've scored 40 or more in 5 games this season. The offensive numbers, they're supporting the facts. But Philly, they have yet to allow an opponent to crack that 30-point barrier. But Saints offensive tackle, Tron Armstead, he's going to be out Sunday. So MJD, how can the Eagles lock up the Boudin brothers, Alvin Kamara and Mark Ingram?
Cole, listen, I mean no disrespect by this. I understand. Eagles going into the Dome down to New Orleans. I was there. It's crazy to play that the Saints offense is on fire. So it's not about that defense trying to stop that running game because they're going to score points. It's about that offense and Carson Wentz lighting it up. You have to throw the ball. You haven't been able to run the ball that well. Saints defense has been doing a great job against stopping the run. So it's all on Carson Wentz. You were drafted number 2 for a reason. You were in the MVP race for a reason. Don't let these guys keep eating. I love the Saints. Food's great down there, but we don't need them to keep running.
All right, let the good times roll in the Crescent City. Thank you, MJD. And how about Week 10, 2017? A week Cowboys quarterback Dak Prescott would love to forget. Sacked 8 times in the 27-7 loss, and it was the most sacks by a Falcon defensive unit since Week 4, 2005. But old Mr. Prescott, he isn't dwelling on the past. He's looking towards the future.
That game wasn't pretty. As you said, you can turn on that tape and see from any aspect that game wasn't pretty. That's not something that I guess I want to speak on what it did to this team and this team's confidence. I mean, I know we're confident. It's a whole new year, so I'm not really worried about last year's game.
All right, so a vast improvement for Dak over the last 3 weeks, and the uptick in production possibly coming from that addition of Amari Cooper after Week 8. Now, Prescott substantially better in every significant category. So, Rod Woodson, Hall of Famer, how can Dak keep it rolling versus the Falcons on Sunday, man?
Cole, the Cowboys are playing against a defense that is dead last in almost every, not dead last, but the bottom 3 in almost every major category on defense. So he is playing extremely well. 260 yards in the air, 68% completion rate. Amari Cooper has really helped this football team really create separation from the DBs, and he's taking advantage of that. But at the end, Maurice, you still got to feed Zeke. Feed Zeke. You guys can win on the road in a hostile environment in Atlanta, Cole.
Yep, 20 carries usually is the golden.
Oh, okay.
There you
Fork.
go.
Big fork.
Stick a fork in
I don't know. Yeah, feed him. Just
okay.
Feed him.
There we go. Now, how about let's get you in the know when it comes to injuries. Of course, an unfortunate part of the business. Sammy Watkins did not practice. Of course, that foot, the lingering issue there, his game status will be available Saturday. Joe Bosa, questionable as well. Check out NFL.com for their latest. As for A.J. Green and Joe Flacco, both doubtful. Green with some side work on Friday, while Flacco has not practiced all week. So with that being said, let's turn our attention to our NFL media insider, Ian Rappaport. You know him as Rap Sheet. And Rap, what's a contingency plan at the quarterback position for John Harbaugh and those Baltimore Ravens Sunday?
It was pretty clear, Cole, the Ravens do not believe that Joe Flacco is going to be their starter, despite the sort of tongue-in-cheek optimism from Coach John Harbaugh that Flacco's recovery has been miraculous. Not so much. He is not going to play, obviously, on Sunday. So here's what they have going for them. RG3, who has been inactive for every single game this year, is going to be active, and I would not be surprised at all if he ended up playing. He's certainly a more experienced and more complete quarterback than Lamar Jackson is at this point. And then, of course, you do have Jackson, the rookie, who missed Thursday's practice with an illness. Obviously, unfortunate timing there, but they have been mixing him into the offense in different ways all throughout the season. I would expect his production and his playing time to be ramped up as well. All that being said, don't be surprised on Sunday if you see both of these quarterbacks taking the place of Joe Flacco.
Coming up on NFL Total Access, your fantasy toss-ups.